Wait a minute. Hello there everybody and welcome to the AOR Hype Energy Oceania Season 2 in round number 10, and we are here in Marina Bay in Singapore. Not the usual commentators that we've got today, they are busy doing something else, so you're stuck with us two. So I'm Jess, and joining me in the commentary box, it's the Scottish Ginger himself, it is Andy. Say hello.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm here for the Oceania. My first time doing it. I'm usually on the Xbox One with Justin, of course. But yeah, it's good to get in amongst these drivers, see how they get on here in Singapore. Of course, a lot of them Aussies, and they're hoping for a cracking race. And remember, the World Championship standings, they are beginning to hot up. We've got a cracking field here. Ryan, of course, leading those World Championship standings at the moment. 191 points on the board. T.M. Murdoch in second. He's got 132. And Warden in third with 128. A good little fight between those guys. The other Ferrari, of course, of Master Berserk as well, at 117 points. Those four, generally speaking, picking up most of the podiums and the victories so far this season. So qualifying just getting underway. The cars trying to get a feel for the Singapore circuit. And Jess, it is one of the trickiest, most difficult circuits on the calendar, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I was doing some time trials in it this morning, and it is very difficult. There is a few corners that you got to be careful at. That you don't take too much speed going into the corners. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in the wall and end up retiring. So I think these drivers have got to be very, very careful about that. I want to specifically watch Master Berserk, and hopefully he could do better this time around, because he only finished in 7th in the last race in Italy, and he's one of the championship contenders going into this race. So maybe he could hot on his heels with Ben and Ryan and Warden and hopefully catch into this race. And we already got a few people starting their lap times. We got Dominator as just starting the fastest lap at the moment. We got Jared. But we are expecting Warden, Ryan and Ben to set some laps soon. So they will probably go up in the top of the timing sheets as well. So that'll be interesting. The tyres we got on option today, we got the Ultra Softs, we got the Super Softs, and we got the Softs. So those are the 3 tyre compounds we've got today. And we see a lot of people actually on the Super Softs, on the Ultra Softs, sorry, my bad. So we expect most of them to be on the Ultra Softs going into this qualifying.
The top 10, of course, have to start on the tyres they qualify on, and that will probably be those ultra soft tyres. New Zealand Ryan has gone to the top of the timesheets there with a 1 minute 37.266. As we predicted, he, of course, would be one of the men contending for the victory. He's won the last 2, of course, winning in Belgium, winning in the rain in Italy as well. And now we arrive in Singapore, and we're looking to stretch that championship lead of his. 59 points at the moment. But I'm looking at Master Berserk at the moment. He's just gone 7th quickest. And as you said, he finished 7th in the last race. We're looking to build on that result. Not the best for him. He's yet to win this season, but a few podiums. And can he get himself into contention now? What about Warden? We're still awaiting a time from him, and he's just gone over the Anderson Bridge and then heading along that long back straight. Not many overtaking opportunities on this racetrack, but I would say this is one of the very few. As you come down into the braking zone at, what's that, turn 14, and now down towards 15, 16 and 17, where Nelson Piquet famously, deliberately crashed his car. I hope we won't see that in AOR. You'll never see that in AOR. No scandals like that, as Warden then heads underneath the grandstand. A little bit of a unique addition to this racetrack. A lot of racetracks you would never see that, but here in Singapore, they go underneath grandstands, they go underneath motorways, and they go flying past the Singapore Flyer on the left-hand side. The big wheel as Warden heads out in the final corner, up to the line, and he goes 2nd quickest, 1/10 away from New Zealand Ryan. With 5 minutes to go in the session, it's Ryan, Warren and Greek Master, your top 3, Jess.
Yes, I'm really, really impressed with how Greek Master's doing at the moment. Finishing in P4 last week in Italy, so he's showing some consistency at the moment since he started. He actually joined midway through the season. He was one of our commentators to start off with, and he decided to race. And I think he's showing some improvement. It'll be interesting to see how he does in Singapore today. So we've got 15 runners racing in this Grand Prix. Not everyone has turned up today, but it doesn't matter. Nonetheless, we've got some great rivalry on the track as well. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone can beat Ryan today, and can someone other than Warden, Ryan or Ben win this race today. maybe we could have Berserk or Jared or someone like that that could possibly win this race today. It will be interesting. We've got a lot of people in the chat saying who they want to win this race. We've got a few Ben fans, we've got a few Warden fans, Ryan, and lots of other people as well. So it will be interesting to see a lot of people going in the pits. I think Warden is setting some lap, and Acho as well. Oh, Acho's gone to the pits. I think everyone bar Warden at the moment is at the pits at the moment. So hopefully we'll start to see the cars go in to start their final lap in the last few minutes of this race. And yeah, Warden is going to the pits as well. So everyone's gone to the pits at this race. So this is going to be a very tight qualifying. We could see someone set a fastest lap in the last minute, like most AOR races I commentated at, or would Ryan keep the fastest lap and make the dominance?
Oh, I mean, as always, it is really tight in AOR, and really, usually you would get an improvement in lap time come the end of the session. So everyone regrouping at the moment. They've set their initial benchmark. The only man that hasn't is Poms for the win, 87. So he is up against it to get a good time on the board, and we'll see what he can do. But with 3.5 minutes to go in the session, it is, of course, New Zealand Ryan on top, Warren second, Greek Master third, HO fourth, DRC Jared in fifth place. A few cars now heading out onto their outlaps. You've got Dominator out there, you've got Ray out there, and Neo Treedome out there as well. Quite a few runners on track at the moment. But it will be an interesting race tomorrow as well. It's not easy to overtake, as I've said. Your best chance down Raffles Boulevard at the end of that first sector to make a move. But of course, the DRS will be active. And of course, turn 14 and the brakes down there, coming off the exit of that Anderson Bridge. If you can get a good run coming out of there, making a move on the brakes. But it seems that everyone has opted for the ultra soft tyre. Now, I'm not too sure about strategy at Singapore. I don't know if we're going to see a one-stop, two-stop, but everyone's certainly going for the ultra soft tyre as things stand. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting session as everyone winds up on these outlaps, tries to get some temperature into their tyres, and they will start testing the limits of this Singapore circuit. And it is a circuit where you've got to slowly build your way up. You can't go flying in there and you end up bouncing off barriers. You need to slowly build your way in, and then as the session goes on, crank it up to full notch and deliver the greatest time you can. But New Zealand Ryan on his outlap now, Warren on his outlap as we watch Dominator round the final corner. He is about to start his final flying lap of the session. He's only got 1.6 laps of fuel, so even though he will have time to come round again, he will not be doing another lap after this. Through turns 1, 2 and 3, and get on the throttle nice and early, climbing up through the gears, through 5th, 6th, and up into 7th for this tricky right-hander, medium speed, 4th gear, and then get back onto the throttle, rub it right up against the barrier, and Dominator absolutely pushing as he now opens up the DRS, that Renault engine singing its heart out as he then hits the brakes at the end of that first sector. And so far, Jess, a really solid lap.
Yes, very clean. He just looked it up a little bit, and as we were saying, he went a bit wide out. He's going through this turn, but at the moment it's very clean. As I think he's got a little bit of temperature in his tyres. It's a little bit cold because he is weaving a bit all over the place at the moment. But he is making sure that he's clean at the moment. So everyone is out for their flying lap then, as we're still following Dominator, and as we were just saying, we are expecting some really good times at the moment. Let me know your thoughts. And Formula Fish is not taking part in this qualifying session a bit more. He decided to retire from the session with a 1:39.2. So we're just still following Dominator there. It's very tricky corners coming up, and he seemed to be doing it very well. There's a few corners that I usually mess up in, and he's doing not too bad at the moment. I think he's struggling on the tyres a little bit. But let's see what he does as he comes through the final corner of this lap to see if he can set. He'll have time to set another one. In fact, he goes into P4, so not too bad. Catching up to Greek Master and Acho at the moment. So all the top 7 separating by 7/10 of a second. So very close between the top 7 runners at the moment. And Ben is all the way down in 8th position. Maybe he will probably have a flying lap in him, and hope maybe he can go for the top. But maybe people's race paces might be better. So as qualifying is just about to finish then, as everyone has a chance to set their final flying lap. Can anyone beat Ryan and take the top spots? We will have to wait and see. So we got Drop Gear then in 11th place, just finishing. Master Berserk not doing too well, up into P9. Hopefully he could do better race pace, as we said. But I think the only ones that can stop Ryan is Warden and possibly Greek Master at the moment. And it is quite tricky corners as in Singapore, so it'll be an interesting race. We don't know much about the weather, but it's looking like to be possibly a dry race again. So it will be some interesting battles to overtake. It is quite difficult to overtake at the moment. So we're just following Warden. Then he's a very clean lap at the moment from Warden, as he's won, and Aisha out of nowhere sets a 1:37.2. So he's knocked Ryan off the top spot, and as we just said, Ryan has come back with a vengeance, 1:36.7. So Aisha was almost close to the top spot, but Ryan just picked the post again, and with Warden in 3rd place, wasn't quite able to match Ryan, unfortunately. But we got Ray 96 in the 2nd place, also known as Jetson, as he was formerly known. And I think
he's coming to the line. Here he comes, and he's going to go, what's that, 5th position, I think, for Ben, as he came round the final corner. I'll tell you what, he'll not be happy with that. That's
not
we've been hoping for. 5th position for Ben. But there is your Singapore Grand Prix qualifying session. That is the lineup for tomorrow's race. New Zealand Ryan, of course, on top, and he's on a roll at the moment in that championship. 2 successive victories, as we mentioned earlier on. 1:36.797, absolutely smashing the field there by 3 and a bit tenths to Ren in 2nd. HO, he thought he had the pole with that late effort, but he was denied in the end. 1:37.2 for him in the Red Bull. Warren, he's 4th. That's a disappointment for him. And Tiamat Marduk, the big name, down in 5th position. That won't please his fans. Greek Master 6th, Dominator 7th, DRC Jared in 8th, and Neo Tree was in 9th. So, yeah, an interesting race for us tomorrow. What will the weather do? Will we have dry conditions? Will we have rain? Singapore is a circuit, of course, where you can get damp conditions, but it does seem weather has prevailed as we get ready for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. It is the longest Grand Prix on the calendar, of course, the longest lap, and of course the longest number of laps as well. So it almost, in 100% distance, reaches the 2-hour limit. One safety car, and you often do hit that 2-hour limit. So this 50% race will be one of the longest in the season for the drivers. And I mean, it's so tough. I mean, you got to be careful not to collide with the barriers. And, you know, on a track where you can barely have time to breathe, the drivers need to be fully focused as the race progresses. But anyway, we're moments away from the start. 20 seconds to go. Is New Zealand Ryan going to make it 3 successive victories? Can Ren on that front row pull off a stunning result? Only once on the podium so far this season, in 3rd at the Spanish Grand Prix, to try and get his 2nd podium of the season. No score last time out in Italy for him. So you'll be looking for a strong result. Can Ben charge up to the field from 5th position? And what about Warren from 4th? So it's a recipe for a cracking race. But here come the lights in. It's a Singapore Grand Prix. And then the 5 lights are on. And we are racing. New Zealand Ryan pulls away from the grid. Is he going to hold on down to turn 1? Ren tries to get alongside, but Ryan has it covered. And he leads his way through turns 1 and 2. Ren in 2nd. Warren's up to 3rd. And HO drops to 4th by running wide. And Warren squeezes him out. And HO, the rear end's lighting up everywhere. And that will allow Ben to sliver through as well, almost down into turn 4, and they go side by side, and Ben's rear end all over the place, and now they're all going side by side down the straight, 4, possibly 5 wide as they run down Raffles Boulevard towards the end of that first sector. But it's Ryan in the lead, Ren 2nd, Warren up 1 to 3rd, HO 4th, Jared 5th, and Ben down to 6th. Jess, exciting start to this Grand Prix.
Yeah, Singapore always brings out the best starts, in my opinion, and Ryan is not disappointed. He's already pulling away from the rest of the field, so brilliant stuff from Ryan as well. And Ray 96 pulling up the stops as well, up into 2nd place. So we're gonna see some very interesting battles as we get towards this Grand Prix. So very excited at the moment. But as we can see, Warden is catching up to Ray 96 at the moment, and to see if he can go up into 2nd place. We also got some other interesting battles across the field. All of them are pretty close together, which is what Singapore is. It is quite close to try and overtake. There's not many overtaking opportunities, as we said. So I'm just seeing what other battles we've got at the moment, which ones are close. All of them are pretty close, in fact, but Ryan again is just showing that he is championship material at the moment. He is dominating. He's doing very, very well at the moment as we get towards the second lap of this Grand Prix, and as he is showing us, he's got the fastest lap. Incredible. He is awesome. So we are approaching turn 1 as Warden is closing up to the Toro Rosso of Rain 96, doing very well. And we also got Acho and Jared joining in a position as well, and we got Poms for the win, doing a very good move up there. Of the other Force we got the other Force India in front as well. So teammates working together there. It's interesting. The midfield battles are usually the best battles going on at the moment. So that is pretty good stuff from there at this stage, as Warden is closing up to Rain 96 at this stage. This is going to be very, very close, and we all got Acho and Jared fighting not that far behind. Already this is shaping up to be a very good Grand Prix. Any one mistake from either one of the drivers and that's it really. So they got to be very, very careful indeed. So we are just following Warden now, and Warden is under pressure from Acho, and we got Jared and Ben and Greek Master not that far behind. So it's kind of like a four-way battle at the moment, isn't it, Andy?
Ren seems to be holding them up a little bit. That incredible lap in qualifying yesterday, but it doesn't seem to have the race pace to match at the moment. Ren under serious pressure. Warren weaving all over his tail, looking for a way through. But as we said, Singapore, not a circuit where it's easy to make a move. So underneath the grandstand they go. Ren second, Warren third, Acho in fourth, and Jared in fifth. They're all in a line, all hoping and waiting for the moment to make a move. But New Zealand, Ryan, he has sprinted off into the distance. It's a bit like Sebastian Vettel around Singapore when he was in his Red Bull days. He used to drive off into the distance, and superb from Ryan so far, driving away 3.9 seconds up the road. And I think somebody's off down at the back. What's happened there? For Evolution, he's gone for a spin, pardon me, and he has damaged that front wing just on the exit of that penultimate corner as you go underneath the highway, and he's coming in with some damaged wing. But back to Warren, and he is right on the tail of Ren, and this is his best opportunity so far to make a move. DRS open, into rich mix goes Warren. Here comes a Ferrari side by side with the Toro Rosso, down into the braking point at the end of Raffles, and is he through? Not yet. Ren holding on, and he'll have the inside for the next corner as they go dueling through this middle sector, usually single file. Try telling Warren that. He's going to dive up the inside and make it stick. Warren up into P2, and Ren is now left looking at Acho all over his tail. And here he goes, the Red Bull driver, having a look as they go into what was once the Singapore slang. I don't know about you, but I used to love that. Singapore slang was one of my favourite parts of the Formula 1 calendar. The drivers didn't love it, but as fans, as commentators, they all loved it. As Acho is now going to slither his way past Ren, and he makes all sorts of places up there. Ren dropping down to fifth position, got the back end all out of shape, coming off the Anderson Bridge, and he drops then in the space of half a lap from second down to fifth, and he does not look comfortable whatsoever, Jess.
No, he doesn't. After a great start up into P2, he's dropping down the field, so not looking good for Rain 96 at this stage. But we already seen Ben going up the field there, up into P6, so not a bad start from Ben, catching up to Rain 96 as he's under pressure from Ben. So as he goes through the start finish straight, then Ben's probably going to get some DRS as he goes through into turn 1. Looks like he's not going to make it stick at the moment. He's staying put at the moment. All the drivers very, very, very close indeed. And Ryan, 6.1 seconds already between himself and Warden. So possibly the battles midfield has possibly caused Ryan to mid-leap his way through the field and push that gap. So it'll be very, very good in the pit stops at this stage. Looking good at this stage. So we are got some great battles. It's just great all the way around. And we got Master Berserk then all up the tail of Dominator, as we can see as he in the inside, and I think Dominator is just going to let Master Berserk have this one, and Master Berserk is up to P8. So Master Berserk climbing his way up the field. Hopefully
hold on. Side by side for P11 at the moment, the Red Bull and the Force India. Look at that, the low reaches outside the top 10, and still battling going on throughout the field. And that's Neil Treedome in that Force India, diving past Chimchar down into the Singapore slang. But now he's having a look on the exit of the Anderson Bridge, and that is not somewhere you want to be sending one up the inside. And thankfully, there's no damage between them. ended up with the right front tyre of Chimchar sliding into the side pod of that Force India, but thankfully no damage done, and they both continue. But up to 11th place goes Neo Tree Dome, and there's a cracking little battle between those guys at the bottom end of the field. But back up to H.O., and he is looking pretty strong at the moment. Warden unable to get away, but I would usually say New Zealand Ryan's disappeared off into the sunset, but the sun's already set in Singapore, so we can't be using that phrase. So Ryan off into the distance, 6.8 seconds now after just 5 laps, and it's hard to argue that he's not going to go on and win this Grand Prix. But as we've said before, the barriers are never far away at Singapore. It's Formula One, and anything can happen. As Ben, I believe, is going side by side with Ren, and is he now through the rubbing wheels into turn 4? And I think Ben has got the move done, and Ren, who's been sliding down the field, slides down 1 place further. Is he coming back? Oh, look at that. They're trying to find a gap where it was never on, and now Creekmaster finds a way through as well, and Ren, who started on the front row, finds himself down in 7th, losing places left, right and centre, and he's also lost a little bit of his front wing as well, for good measure. The left end plate is gone, and Ren's nightmare start has just got even worse. So Ren's drops down now to 7th position as the battling continues. Well down outside the points, 13th and 14th place. You've got Drop Bear having one up the inside. That was aggressive stuff. And off the road goes one of the Williams cars of that's a mouthful. LSEM off the road. He went, and he's got damage to his wing as well. The right end plate damaged, and that's 2 cars now with wing damage. And that's a shame for him, as Greek Master now gets onto the tail of Ben, who is back where he started. He had dropped down a couple of places from his starting position, but he is now back up into that 5th position, and he'll be hoping to make some inroads in the cars ahead. He's got DRC Jared around 2 seconds up the road, so he's got his work cut out. He wants to find himself up towards the podium places with Warren, H.O. and Jared already virtually fighting for that 2nd place, with Ryan disappearing off into the distance. But I mean, it is a tough track to overtake on, but so far we've had some good moves in this race, Jess, haven't we?
Yes, definitely. Already a lot of drivers making their way up the field, as we just seen Master Berserk just doing, trying to catch up to the top runners. So very, very good from them. But as we are following then the midfield runners to see who's going to be in the points, we already got Chimchar trying to get into the top 10, and he's closing up. And he's under pressure with the Drop Bear at the moment, as he is trying to make his stick. He's on the back of Chimchar at the moment, so there was a little bit of contact there, but looks like it was a racing incident. And there is. Let's see who can make it stick this time. It looks like Chimchar has lost position there, and Drop Bear, it is up into 11th position. So even though they're at the bottom of the field, whatever points they get do count. Even if it's just that 1 point, it does make a difference in this midfield. So it is very, very interesting to see at this stage. That was a very, very good battle from the pair of them at the moment. Palms for the win, already doing well at the moment, up into P9, doing a massive, splendid of a job there, up into P9. So we have HO catching up to Warden there, as he's almost closing in on Warden. HO showing some very consistent pace in Singapore, even though it's a very hard track to overtake. So this can be interesting, as I think he's going to get some DRS open. Yes, he does. He does get DRS in the final straight. So let's see if he can hold on up into turn 1 and overtake. Nope, he is staying put at the moment. He is trying to avoid contact at the moment, and Warden there just gaining some penalty, 3 seconds. So the gap, it needs to stretch a little bit in order to make sure he doesn't gain any more penalties. Looks like all the other drivers are trying to keep it clean at the moment, but Warden, I think, needs to try and stretch this gap to make sure.
Comes Ben, no. Of Jared, sorry to come across you there, and he's made it stick, but he's gone a little bit too deep into the braking zone, and Jared slivers back through, and Ben, oh dear, he'll be getting a little bit frustrated. He's quickly closed that gap on Jared. Has Jared damaged his wing? Yes, he has. Yes. Right end plate damage for him, so that is why Ben is all over his tail and really looking to make a move. He's all over him like a rash, ducking left, ducking right, and he's trying it there. Goodness me. That's not a place you want to be making a move. I was certain there was going to be contact there, but thankfully there is no contact. Over the Anderson Bridge they go, and then out of turn 13, down this long back straight, over the Esplanade Bridge, here in Singapore, and down towards the braking zone of turn 14, one of the 2 overtaking opportunities on this racetrack, and Ben remains stuck behind Jared in his race at the moment, being undone. He doesn't want to be there much longer. If he wants to be tasting champagne this evening, he'll need to get himself up into the top 3. But at the moment, with Jared with that damaged front wing, he's only going to get further away. 3 seconds the gap between Ho and Jared at the moment. So 3 seconds there, and that means that Ben's chances of a podium are slowly slipping away unless he can find a way through on Jared pretty soon. The only good news for Ben is that Warren and Ho are battling themselves and not really pulling away too much. And in fact, Jared all out of shape in that final corner. That front wing damage proving a problem there. And Ben finally seals the deal into turn 1. Up the inside, through he goes. And Jared, well, I'm not surprised he was understeering through that final corner. Probably the only corner in this Singapore circuit where you really need a lot of downforce. And he was running wide, out of shape, lost momentum, and through went Ben. He doesn't need a second invitation, up into 4th place. And now Greekmaster fancies doing the same. Jared trying to stay in the toe of Ben in front, but he's under real pressure. Is Greekmaster going to send one up the inside? Oh, he brakes very late and nearly Jared on the brakes and wipes his front wing off. But thankfully, Greekmaster gets it spot on and remains right behind him with no damage done. So can Ben now get a move on? Will he put the hammer down and get himself onto the tail of Ho? 3.6 seconds he has to close to join that battle for second. And Warden at the moment really struggling for grip. Ryan is just disappearing into the distance. 8 seconds and eight laps, a second a lap, and he is running off at a canter. But Warden against Ho in the battle for second position. That looks like the best battle on track at the moment. We might have to go to Greekmaster in a few moments if there's any moves there. If sign of a move as Ho remains stuck behind Warren. So is he going to try and wait until the pit stop window to make his move? That might be his best opportunity, because of course when the drivers are so evenly matched, I mean, you need to remember these guys are robots. A lot of these guys are really, really quick and really do not make many mistakes. So your best chance is often in the pit stops, and it can be very, very difficult. So here comes Ho round at that final corner, past the Singapore Flyer on the left-hand side and down that start-finish straight. He's tucked right up behind Warren as they go down into turn 1 on lap 9 out of 31. Ryan still leads as Master Berserk is up to 6th, and Jared has finally bailed out Jess on that front wing. It was just getting a little bit too much, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and it just goes to show because a lot of people seem to be overtaking Jared at the moment. So not the best of races for him, but hopefully with a front wing that it's not going to be damaged anymore, he can go his way up the field once everyone else is pitted and go back in the points paying position. So, and we got an interesting battle with Ho and Warden there, as Ho lost a bit of momentum there at the moment, as Warden doing some nice defensive work there, doing very, very well. And Warden has been sent off the side there. Oh my god. So Warden is dropping down the field. We see Ben, Master Berserk, already passing him, and Dominate is passing him. It looks like there's a bit of damage already. He's stopping. He's ghosting at the moment. I'm just seeing if he's gonna make it. He's probably gonna limp it home and go to the pits, but looks like a podium position and possibly a points paying position is out of the window for Warden. So what a shame. But that means the gap between Ryan and the rest of the front runners has increased there. So very interesting. So Ben already is up into the podium positions at this stage, but don't forget there's a few people that haven't pitted yet. But Ben seems to be very, very confident at this stage as he's going through the rest of the field. He's staying out of trouble. He's making the moves only when it counts. And I've noticed he's been a lot more cleaner in these last few races, which is helping him a lot, staying in the top 3, showing consistent pace in the podium, and he's hoping to do that in this race as well. So
Berserk. Hold on, Master Berserk making a move up the inside into turn 1, nearly making it stick on Greekmaster. Not often a place you would associate with an overtake, but Master Berserk is really starting to pile the pressure onto Greekmaster. A real shame for Warren there. I think he was trying to do about a 26-point turn to get back round, such as the tight streets of this Singapore circuit. I think he got round eventually, but his race totally ruined, and that's a real shame for him, as Jared now picks up a 3-second time penalty. His race is just going from bad to worse, as Warren finally, I believe, makes it back to the pits, as Master Berserk continues to try and find a way past Greekmaster as they squirm their way through that middle sector, single file most of the time. And Master Berserk still tucked up behind Greekmaster, no way through at the moment. Ryan, 10 seconds in 10 laps. It's just a second a lap at the moment. He's absolutely flying. Ho second. Ben in third. All these guys on the ultra soft tyre with Jared in. He's fitted the soft, so I don't know if anyone else will fit soft tyres, or can they stretch these ultras long enough to go onto a set of super soft tyres. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Jared was forced in early onto those soft tyres with that front wing damage, so that's what's caused issues for him. But Master Berserk dropping off the tail of Greek Master now. Maybe he'll be waiting to try and get the jump in the pit window. But Drop Bear 27, what about him? He's on the super soft tyre, and he started outside the top 10 on those super soft tyres. So fresher tyres than anyone else out there, and they should be in better conditions, better condition, I should say, than those on the ultras. So let's see if he can now make a move on Neon Tree Dome, who has been in the thick of the action. He's been making a few moves in the midfield when he was outside the top 10 earlier on. It was exciting to watch that. So let's see if Drop Bear can find a way through as he climbs onto the back of Neon Tree Dome around that final corner. And is he going to find a way through? DRS open now, and Neon Tree Dome under a little bit of pressure, but Drop Bear 27 unable to find a way through. Master Berserk in fifth. He's also looking at the back of Greek Master, but no way through there as well. But yeah, a little bit of a lull in the action at the moment, but I'm sure it's going to heat up pretty soon, isn't it, Jess?
Yes, I'm sure it will. It gets to that pit window stage where a lot of people are deciding what tyres they're going to run, and it will probably get towards the end of the race where the battles will start heating up. And as we were just saying, battles are heating up now with Master Berserk having a bit of contact from Greek Master there, but I think he's decided that Greek Master's going to have this one, but he's not giving up. He's on one of the straights at the moment. Is he going to try and make a move? Look like he's staying put at the moment. Greek Master and Master Berserk doing splendid job there with this battle. Greek Master is definitely under pressure there, and it's making him race that much harder. It is very, very interesting. I don't think they've pitted yet, but I think they want to keep going this battle for all to see. And we see the Renault of Dominator closing in as well, so maybe he can go in all the action at the moment. So we will have to wait and see. But we got some interesting battles on track at the moment, and we got Drop Bear closing in onto Neon Tree Dome at this stage. We were just following them just a minute ago, but it looks like they're closing in to follow them a little bit more, and they are on a faster. And as we were just saying, the super soft tyre runner went a little bit wide there as he's trying to make a little bit of a gap there, trying to find every move, and I think he's going to make it stick, hopefully. Oh no, the Force India is pitting. So Drop Bear has track position, but I don't think Drop Bear has pitted yet. So, oh yeah, we also have one of the lead. We have Master Berserk pitting, Dominator pitting, Neon Tree pitting. So it's a pit window. So it'll be interesting. Who's going to pit first out of the front runners? Is it going to be Ryan? Is it going to be Acho? Is it going to be Ben? Is it going to be Greek Master? We will have to wait and see. Who's going to make the cut first? Who's going to make the others want to respond? I won't be surprised if Ryan goes first, because he's got a bit of a gap, and I won't be surprised that he might stretch the tyres up a little bit. Ultra softs don't last very long, but we all know Ryan that he can make the tyres last for as long as he wants. So yes, so that will be good as well. So not many close battles at the moment, as we already see Rain 96 trying to recover from the damage that he suffered from the beginning of the race as he's climbing up the field, as we said. As we got Rain almost on the back of Jared there, and we'll follow that as that continues. So we got Master Berserk there trying to also catch up from Rain. So Rain 96 under pressure there from both Jared and Master Berserk. So this is a three-way battle. Is going to be seen all night, but we'll see. We'll have to find out, as we want to see if Master Berserk can be score points for the Constructors' Championship. Most people don't know this. Constructors' Championship do play a vital role in AOR as well. Master Berserk does want to score some good points for him and Morden to close up to Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. So he is hoping for a high points position at the moment. Oh, and as we were just saying, Ben and Greek Master are pitting. So they are the first one of the lead runners to pit. I wasn't expecting Ben to pit first. I was expecting Ryan to. So Ben made the call there and decided to pit there. So yes, let's see where Ben is going to come up. He is not too bad at the moment. He is only lost one position actually, so not a bad pit stop from Ben. He's only dropped down one position from third up into fourth place. So not doing too bad. So he could go a chance for a podium in this race, which is looking very good for all you Ben fans watching in the chat. So, and I'm impressed with how Ben is doing at the moment, taking some opportunities. He's been a bit aggressive at times, as a few people are saying in the chat, but I think he will probably drive a bit clean to avoid as much damage as possible. So good calls there from Ben. Not a best pit stop from Greekmaster as he's dropping down the field at this stage, but we will have to wait and see what HO and Ryan do. Who's going to pit next out of those two? So I'm just seeing what other battles we have got as Greekmaster is trying to get his way up the field, closing up to Chimchar in the Red Bull. Is shaping up to be a hot battle in the midfield, right, Andy?
Greekmaster, they're coming into the pits, ended up with a 5-second stop-go penalty. That is why he has dropped all the way down outside the points, and it's going to be a mission for him to get himself back in there. And look at that, diving up the inside. Oh, banging wheels. Oh, that was aggressive, but I tell you what, that's just about acceptable for me. Down the inside, on the exit of the Anderson Bridge, through he went, and it's a street circuit. If you send it up the inside and you have the line, fair enough. And a little bit of wheel banging, but through they go. Ryan and Ho have come into the pits. So Greekmaster, aggressive, but just about on the limit, and up into 10th position he goes. Warden, you've got to give him a lot of credit for continuing, despite that incident earlier on, where he lost a good 30 seconds, I would have thought, by doing a 26-point turn. So Warren still going. Can he get himself back into the points? That would be some drive if he can do that. As Ren is now in for his second stop. Remember, pitting earlier with that damaged wing, forced into that second stop. Interestingly, Ben is now ahead of Ho. So Ben has got that undercut to work. Ho with a poor stop, I presume. And Ben now is up into what would be a net second place. And he is charging back up through this field. It's going to be too little too late to beat Ryan, I would have thought. But he's done a superb job to get himself into what is now a net second place. And all those Ben fans watching, they'll be rubbing their hands and absolutely delighted with that one. He is now up into a net second. Drop Bear continues to lead. He's got on a marathon stint on those super soft tyres, and that's a good gauge for us watching to see just how far those super soft tyres can go. That's 14 laps he's done now, so presumably he'll be able to go quite a few more before he feels the need to make a pit stop. So Drop Bear is in the lead at the moment, yet to make a pit stop, of course. New Zealand Ryan in second, it's T-Met Murdoch in third, Ho is fourth, but they of course will all move up. Jared in fifth on the soft compound tyre. Remember, Jared pitted earlier because of front wing damage, so he was forced to do a long stint on the soft compound. We'll see how that works for him as Formula Fish in Warden. I think Formula Fish has just got past Warden, and Warden has actually got more damage. Oh, goodness me. Left end plate damage for Warden, and that is a disappointing afternoon, just getting even worse for him, as Ryan, I believe, has got himself ahead of Drop Bear into turn one. I think Drop Bear might have just let him go, realised he's not in the same race, and through he goes. Ryan up into the lead of the Grand Prix, and it should now just ease it home to victory. You don't want to be doing anything like Senna at Monaco all these years ago. You might have a big lead. You don't want to make it any bigger and end up crashing into the wall. That's risks you cannot afford to take, and I'm sure Ryan, with his championship lead at 59 points at the moment, he'll be looking to extend it here and try and get this championship wrapped up as soon as possible. So Ryan will now just stroke it home, you would have thought, and try and wrap up that victory. But let's have a look elsewhere on the track. Where is the best battle? It's Neon Tree Dome, who, as we've mentioned already, has been in the thick of it all race long. As I think Warden is retired from the race. He has. Oh, and Warden, is that on the way into the pits? It is. And Warden has crashed on the pit lane entrance, and his disastrous weekend comes to a close, resting against the pit wall with the left front tyre absolutely ripped off the chassis, and his horrendous afternoon is totally finished. So it's a shame for Warren. His race is over, and no points for him, and one of the championship contenders going home from Singapore with absolutely nothing. But I think we should go back to that battle between Neon Tree Dome and Dominator. That's a shame, Jess, for hold on a minute. Dominator having a look here, and he's going to go through on Neon Tree Dome, who locked up coming off the Anderson Bridge into that tight hairpin, and that has allowed Dominator to sliver up the inside and make the move. Here, going round the outside is Neon Tree Dome. He keeps his car in there. Side by side they go, down towards the breaking point for the Marina Bay, and still Neon Tree Dome clings on and brilliantly holds on to his place. Absolutely brilliant racing between the pair. You don't often see that in Singapore, but in AOR you do, and Neon Tree Dome clings on to his 7th place when Dominator looks for certain to snatch it. Great racing, Jess, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant from Neil Trindome. Absolutely climbing up the rest of the field. I think he could possibly aim for P7 or P6 actually, which will look well for the Constructors' Championship. So very, very good. Dominator actually doing a good showing as well. And we've seen Greekmaster trying to climb his way up the field there. Hopefully he can score some points for his team. He was showing up for a consistent run, but due to his stop-go penalty, that was why he dropped down the field at this stage. So we haven't got much battles at the moment, apart from the one we just seen, which is Dominator and Neil Trindome. All the rest of the battles are between probably 2 to 4 seconds down. And what a move! Oh, this is close contact between those two drivers. Don't forget they're both on the super softs. And it looks like Neil Trindome is probably going to make it stick and stay the position. But Dominator's not giving up. Oh, who's going to make the move this time? I think Dominator has it right there. Oh, that was very, very close. What a showing from these two. Absolutely amazing stuff. We weren't expecting Singapore to show up these great battles, but already we got some very good battles all the way up the field as we're going through halfway of this Grand Prix. And we will see a few people probably pitting very, very, very soon. I think Ryan and Acho, I've seen earlier, has pitted. So I think all the front runners have pitted going into the final few laps. Oh well, the halfway stage of this Grand Prix. Will some people go for a two-stop, or will some people go and stretch up these tyres up to the end of this Grand Prix? So they can stretch the super softs, I think, possibly, because there's a few people that already done it, but I can't really call it. We will have to wait and see to see if they can make it to the end of the race.
They should make it to the end. Drop there, 17 laps he's gone now on the super softs that he started on. So I don't think these drivers should have any problems getting to the end. Let's wait and see though. There's no guarantees. I mean, there is still a good 14 laps to go. So I mean, they have been on them a few laps. So I mean, maybe I'm jumping the gun here. Maybe they might not. We'll have to wait and see. But Drop Bear, he is continuing out there on those super softs, seemingly with no major issues. So I do think that we will be seeing one stops. Jared, the only man that has ended up going for the soft compound, which I think pretty much confirms that the one stop is the way to go. So yeah, it's been an exciting race. I mean, I've got to give these drivers a lot of credit. A racetrack where it is not easy to overtake, but we have seen some great action, particularly between Neon Trindome and Dominator. And now we're watching Master Berserk down in 12th place, outside the points, going side by side with Formula Fish. Oh, and is he going to go through as they reach the brakes at the end of Raffles Boulevard? He's easily through. Formula Fish didn't fancy fighting that one. And the Fish jumps back into the water, back into 12th place. And Master Berserk up into 11th. But TMF Marduk now, the closest battle on track, closing in on Drop Bear. And I don't expect Drop Bear to fight this too hard. Like you see it very often. The drivers that are in different races, different strategies, don't tend to fight. They've got their own fights to get involved in. And as I look at the gap for Drop Bear, where's he going to slot back in? It says his pit now rejoin position is 7th. And that is a big climb for him, given where he started outside the top 10. So he'll be looking at a great result. And there you go. He does finally call for the pit. So 18 laps he's managed on those super softs. And he will surely now go onto a set of ultras. And that will please Ben. Clean Air doesn't need to worry about going offline to make a move up into 2nd place. And it should now be a gentle drive to the finish. That gap that Ryan had opened out earlier on has stabilised a lot now. It was not going up at a second a lap the way it was. As you can see, it's now stabilising at around 12 seconds. So Ryan in control, coasting home for what will be a 3rd successive victory. Really is stamping his authority on the Oceania League, and really is a cut above. Ben 2nd, really coming along strong in this Grand Prix. Started in 5th position, of course. Slowly went about his business. Calculated moves. That's what it's been for Ben. Just taking his time. Any move that's on, he'll take it. And that's climbed up into 2nd position. A good drive from him. H.O. in 3rd. He'll be a bit disappointed to have lost out to Ben in the pits. You would have thought H.O. would be coming back at him as he was on the fresher tyres, but he has damaged that wing, so that charge has come to a halt, and he's running in 3rd with front wing damage. Jared, of course, running in 4th. Early stop for him. That's why he's on the softs, because, of course, he damaged the wing when he was on the ultras, and that has been a feature of this Grand Prix up until now. So Jared on the soft compound tyre, but the best battle on track once again seems to be involving Neon Trindome, who's been in the thick of things, Jess, hasn't he?
Yes, he is doing very well. He's lost a bit of position there, but I think he's not going to let Greekmaster go get the position that easy. And as we were just saying, there's a little bumper contact as Greekmaster did send Neon Tree a bit there, and he actually gave the position to Neon Tree, I'm afraid. But that's good sportsmanship from Greekmaster. but the gap, it is closing in. It is quite hard to overtake on these corners. It will be amazing if Neon Tree can overtake. It can defend this. It is quite difficult, but knowing Neon Tree, I think he can do it with the battles he's shown throughout this Grand Prix. I think he can hold on to it. But Greekmaster trying to climb his way up the field. He's got trying to get some DRS open. He is not making a move at the moment, trying to avoid a bit of contact, but he is trying to find some moments there. So looking good at the moment. Both of them are on the super softs. I think Greekmaster has newer tyres, so it's looking to be in Greekmaster's favour at the moment. So that's looking good for him, as we are following them very, very closely as well. Chimchar already doing well, very, very, very consistent there. So it's looking to be very close between Greekmaster and Neon Tree. We're just trying to find moments where they can overtake, but looks like they're not doing it just yet. We're just waiting for the perfect moment, but hopefully we'll find some more battles pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, these two, they've been well, Neon Tree in particular has been in the thick of it all race long. I'm sure they'll be battling soon. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and it's Chimchar who has stopped in the middle of the road. I think he might have... What's happened there? Maybe something's happened, and he's stopped in the middle of the road, down in 13th place.
Oh, commentators
curse. He said he was doing well. Well, he's not anymore.
Sorry.
And 10th position slips away. One World Championship point gone. That's your fault, Jess. That's what they'll be saying down at Red Bull. That's what they'll be saying. The commentator's curse strikes again, as it always does. But back to that battle between Neon Tree Dome and Greekmaster. One battle developing there, and Pumps for the win in 5th position, battling with Dominator as well. But has Pumps for the win been in the pitch yet? Yeah, he has. Wow, that's a massive climb up in positions, up 6 places from 11th position. So a great drive from Pumps for the win up till now, and Dominator right behind, and Dominator round the outside having a look. There's no way through there, and Greekmaster behind, meanwhile, is through on Neon Tree Dome there. What happened there? Did Neon Tree Dome let him go?
I think he
seemed like it when I cut back to the action. Yeah, because he was way over on the left-hand side of the road there, as if he was going to the pit wall side of the track to let him through, and either that or he had a huge kick of oversteer coming out at the final corner. We never quite caught that, but let's keep an eye on Pumps for the win versus Dominator. And while we do that, if you guys are watching in the stream, feel free, let us know, interact with us. Who has been your driver of the day so far in this race? I mean, there's been a few contenders, hasn't there, Jess? I mean, you look at Pumps for the win, up 6 places. Benz came up from 5th place, up 3. Jared up 4, despite the front wing damage. A lot of talking points, and even Neon Tree Dome, he's put on a lot of exciting action as well for us. He's been great to watch, hasn't he?
Yes, all the drivers have been very, very great to watch. And if you're liking this action on track and want to get involved, the AOR team are behind the scenes creating the F1 2018 leads, doing all the action there. It's going to be very, very exciting. They're preparing it, and they're very excited to see what's coming up there. So make sure you get involved once a new game comes out. I think the sign-up threads come 2 weeks after those come out. So if you are liking the action on track today and say, hey, I want to be one of those people that battles people like Ben or Ryan or Warden or stuff like that, make sure you get involved when the sign-up threads open in about September time, because the planning stages are already underway. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. Hopefully I'll be back in the commentary box coming up soon for F1 2018 as well. And we're also powered by Thrustmaster, and Pumps and Dominator is trying to make his way up the field. All my spiel I'll talk about a bit later, as we're following some battles coming up there. And what is happening with Neon Tree Dome? He is dropping down the field a little bit there, and he's going to be a bit under pressure from Drop Bear coming up. But the gap seems to be closing down a little bit at the moment, so it looks good. But yeah, the only battle on track at the moment seems to be Dominator and Pumps for the win. Looks like Dominator has a chance to squeeze Pumps for the win there. He squeezed a little bit. Looks like Dominator had to make a decision. Yep, and Greekmaster. Oh, three-way battle for 5th place. And Greekmaster. That is interesting, isn't it, Andy?
Developing there, and brilliant. Pumps for the win, Dominator, Greekmaster, and it looked there as if Dominator had found a way through and Pumps for the win, and in the end he had to start looking at Greekmaster behind, and that is just how tough it is on a street track like this. If you try a move somewhere and get it wrong, I'm telling you, somebody will obviously take the opportunity right away from you, because there's not many opportunities. And look at that, Dominator letting Greekmaster go there. That was interesting. So Greekmaster moving aside, I don't know if there's some friendship in that. I'm not quite sure what the relationship is there, but he allows Greek Master up into 6th place, and he can now chase after Palms for the Win 87. So a change of scenery in his mirrors for Palms for the Win. No longer looking at a yellow banana. He looks now at Greek Master in the silver behind him, and he will be looking to try and snatch away that 5th position at the moment. But a few people asking what might have happened to Warden earlier on. I'll just give you a quick recap of what happened to him. He was running right up in the podium positions earlier on in this Grand Prix, and ended up, I think, going for a spin or contact. We never quite caught it. We caught the tail end, did we? Or did we see it? Warden had an issue, didn't he? He went for a spin.
Pits. It was when he was coming. I was coming to the pits, and I think he lost a bit of contact as he went down the field. He had a bit of damage to his front wing as well. So he did try to get the damage, and I think he just got to him. He went to the pits, and it was just game over for him. So what a shame from Warden. It's from a good start to end it like that. It's just not very good. I'm not sure how many retirements he's got, but it's another one to add to his retirement. He's the only retiree in this race, and all. Yes, with more racing. Yes, we are three-way battle for 5th place. Palms for the Win, Greek Master, and Dominator. And we got Drop Bear on for a piece of the action as well. So it'll be a 4-way battle. Oh, who could have predicted this? I've never commentated a league like this where the battles have been so close.
Look at that from Greek Master. He sent one up the inside of Palms for the Win on the exit of the Anderson Bridge. Then at turn 13, nearly making it stick, but Palms for the Win clings on. You're absolutely right about Drop Bear on those ultra soft tyres, on an absolute charge. He's flying through the field on those tyres, and he's going to be right on the tail of these guys. And I wouldn't bet against him getting himself up into 5th place, and he might even become a contender for Driver of the Day. We've had a few people giving us a message saying who they think should be Driver of the Day. We've had Lewis Young saying Dominator or Palms for Driver of the Day. He's brilliant from the two of them. We've had a few other people saying Palms, Dominator 2nd, and Ben 3rd for Driver of the Day. So a lot of people saying Palms, Ben, that kind of idea. But you know what? If Drop Bear can get himself up into the top 5, he might become a contender as well. As here comes Greek Master up the inside into turn 1. Is he going to make it stick on Palms for the Win? Oh, Palms forced off the road there. And it looks like Greek Master is through. And Palms for the Win immediately drops it into the clutches of Dominator. And you know what? Is that another car on the tail of this? I think it's a lapped car, actually. I thought it was another car joining the group on the tail of that. I think, yeah, it's a lapped car of Evolution that's getting onto the tail of it. I thought we were about to go into an even bigger battle for this victory today, or not the victory, for 5th position today. And Greek Master now up into that 5th position with that aggressive move into turn 1. He's dropped Palms for the Win into the clutches of Dominator in the battle for 6th and 7th. And now the Dominator is in a Pink Panther sandwich, and you don't want to be doing that in a Pink Panther sandwich, do you? And Dominator needs to get himself out of it onto the tail of Palms for the Win. No way through, as a few drivers picking up penalties. It is a track that is penalty friendly, not what you want. As Palms for the Win a little bit out of shape. Is Dominator going to wind one up the inside? The rear's locking. That was aggressive. That was opportunistic. The rubbing wheels. Neon Tree Dome rubbing wheels with Dominator. And I think Drop Bear says thank you very much. Passes Neon Tree Dome. Passes Dominator. And Drop Bear up into 7th place as a result of the contact. And yes, it just got a little bit too messy there, didn't it?
No, what a shame from Dominator. He was looking to possibly gain into the higher points. He was doing very well. Contender for Driver of the Day, but I think it just got the better of him right there. So what a shame from Dominator. Hopefully he can climb his way up the field at the moment. Greek Master recovering from his stop-go penalty and already up into 5th place. So very incredible. We're already saying a few comments as well. People were saying Greek Master as well, Driver of the Day. So I think Greek Master, Palms, Dominator, Ben. I think those are what most people are saying at the moment, these 4. And don't forget about Ryan. Ryan is already pulling up a gap between himself and Ben. And Dominator is out of this race. What has happened to Dominator? We'll see. Oh, he's in the pits.
Yeah, he's come into the pits and retired. I don't know. You could call it a power unit failure, couldn't you, if you want to try and be realistic? But no, I think he's had enough. I think maybe his chances of points have slipped away, and Dominator has decided, nope, I've had enough. I'm not going to collect any points from this Grand Prix. It's been a frustrating day, and in the end, he's decided to come into the pits and end his weekend early. Of course, it is one of the longest races on the calendar, and thankfully, Drop Bear, he's in the wall. Drop Bear, he brushes against the barrier, and now Palms for the Win is going side by side with him through the Singapore sling. Drop Bear, a lapse of concentration there, drops the rear end into the wall. Thankfully for him, his 2 left-hand tyres, left front and left rear came flush with the barrier, and he didn't end up damaging his front wing or anything like that. So very fortunate there for Drop Bear not to do any damage. And now Pomps for the win, and his teammate Neon Tree Dome are doing battle at the end of that second sector. Neon Tree Dome has been in so much action, trying to go around the outside of his teammate. And I have to say, I think the guys on the Forza India pit wall might be biting a few fingernails down there, because the last thing they want to do is throw away some good points. But the way these guys have been battling in this race, I don't think there's any danger of that. But that could be a commentator's curse. I'm not. I'll wait and see. But Neon Tree Dome up behind the back of Pomps for the win, and look at that, almost pushing him through that chicane as they go underneath the highway down towards that final corner, the fastest corner on the calendar, really. Left-hander, you really need a lot of downforce and grip, and Neon Tree Dome drops off the tail of Pomps for the win as a result of the dirty air, as Drop Bear continues on his way in sixth. And he now, surely, Drop Bear has brought himself right into contention for driver of the day. I mean, we weren't speaking about him moments ago. He's now up 6 places from his starting position, and that's more than anyone else in the field. So Drop Bear, that strategy, that long first stint on the super soft tyre is paying dividends, isn't it? Great driving from him as Neon Tree Dome that begins to line up Pomps for the win. The two Forza Indias, they're going to do battling on the brakes at the end of Raffles Boulevard. Round the outside tries Neon Tree Dome. He won't get through there. Off the road he goes, and Pomps for the win clings on. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and I'm not sure why.
Rain is going down the field. I don't. Let me just check quickly to see who is going down the field. To see if I can see. Not much at the moment. I am just trying to. Chimchar has DNF'd. I think that might be him. I'm not entirely sure. But no, I didn't see much going on. I was paying more attention to Neil Tree Dome. But there's the Williams closing. I think is lapping the Williams at the moment. So he's got to try and squeeze past a little bit there. So yeah, we don't know what happened there. But Neil Tree Dome is getting involved in battles after battles. It's not working best for him at the moment, but he is making some great entertainment for us to watch there. And we're already seeing Ryan pulling him a second per lap at the moment, 17.2 seconds between himself and Ben. I think the Mercedes pit wall are going to be very happy with that performance so far this race, as them two are showing consistent pace as it matters. I think it just goes to show that Ben has better race pace than qualifying pace, as he's already gained a few positions there as well. So we are powered by Hype Energy. If you just joined us, it's the AOR Oceania Season 2. We're round number 10 in Singapore. We weren't expecting much overtakes this race, but already this is shaping up. This is a race central. Yeah, it's the opposite. It's very good, and we're seeing the Williams lagging, which is not helping the two Forza Indias up behind. So I don't know which the Williams are there at the moment. So yeah, Benny is wondering how would Flying Finger up against Ryan. That'll be a battle and a half.
That would be Titanic stuff. I'm not even going to call that. No, thank you. I'm not going to get. I'll end up getting I can call that one. No chance. I'm not calling that.
Yeah, but I'm not calling that either.
But there's quite an interesting battle. Strange, the two Williams drivers that are lap down. You don't see this often, but they're both on the tail of the two Force Indias. They're 12th and 13th at the back of the pack. The two Force Indias are 7th and 8th, but they're battling with one another in a moment. And will the two Williams drivers try to get themselves ahead of the two Force Indias? Surely not. I mean, they're not going to get up into the points. And Elsem was looking and trying to find a way through on Neon Tree Dome a few laps ago, but I think he's decided to get himself away from the tail. But I mean, driver of the day, we've discussed it. There's so many choices, so many people out there, but we cannot forget Ryan. I mean, we basically have. He's disappeared off into the distance and from the start, and we barely had time to look at him on the camera because there's been so much action going on down through the field. But what a lot of credit this man deserves. Absolutely bossed it, has the New Zealander here this evening in Singapore. 17 seconds up the road. That is a colossal gap in AOR at any level. And we've got a move here. And is that Neon Tree Dome and Pomps for the win?
Yeah, that is. That was a brilliant move from Neon Tree Dome. Pomps for the win had to let it stick on that one. What a move. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Neon Tree Dome at the moment. He is climbing up the field. Absolutely amazing. He is not that far. He is 5 seconds behind Drop Bear. So he's probably going to either stay in the top 10, it looks like, but absolutely amazing stuff But we're not going to forget Poms for the win as he's trying to catch up to Neon Tuning Dome. Well, great start from him, but he's dropping down the field a little bit. He's under pressure. He's also under pressure from Master Berserk as well, behind 3/10 per second down at this moment. Master Berserk is looking to score some early points for Ferrari. Hopefully he will get some points. He is looking like that at the moment, but he wants to gain higher to make sure that the Ferrari-Mercedes battle in the Constructors' Championship stays alive. So it looks like Mercedes is dominating at the moment. So people are saying what the strategies are like. A lot of people started on the Ultras and went on to the Super Softs. A few people, due to damage, had to go onto the Softs and then the Ultras. It varied between person on person, but the majority of the front runners did the Ultra and Super Softs in, and they're making it last to the end of the race. Absolutely incredible from those front runners. So very, very impressed with Ben, Ryan and Acho stretching out those tyres at the end of the race, just like Drop Bear did earlier on. So it just goes to show those 3 people are making those tyres count. So the right strategy call from there at the moment. So we are still following Master Berserk then, with Poms for the win. Poms for the win is under pressure from Master Berserk. Master Berserk is not letting him go that easy. It's probably going to be one of the last battles of the race. Who do you think is going to come out on top of this one? No one can call it. I'm not going to call it, because otherwise I'll get commentators curse again and people are going to be like in the chat, just stop. But a lot of people are saying in the chat actually as well, Ultra to Softs are quicker. Yes, they are. But I think that's what it's like in real life actually, because a lot of people are starting on the Super Softs and then Ultras. But
Berserk. Did you see that move from Master
Yes,
Berserk?
I
That
did.
was absolutely stunning, right round the outside of Poms to the win on the brakes down at Raffles Boulevard. And well, we were about to call it, and I'm glad we didn't, because we've seen it with our own eyes right on the track. A beautiful move from Master Berserk. He's up into that 8th position now, and through he goes. And Poms to the win. He's dropped away a little bit. He was holding off Neon Tree Dome earlier on, and Drop Bear and all those drivers, but in the end it's dropped away for him, and now he's having to fight off lapped cars, 2 Williams cars all over his tail, hungry to try and unlap themselves. But Poms to the win. He's safe now in that 9th position. He will be disappointed, but it looks like he's safe there now. But New Zealand Ryan, what a performance from him, in control from the get-go of this Grand Prix. He's going to extend his championship lead even further, and he's just 2 laps away from a good night out in Singapore. I think he was celebrating that. What a place to celebrate it, eh? A great victory for him. The champagne and 25 World Championship points, a 3rd successive victory on the cars. Ben in 2nd. He's had a great drive as well. A lot of credit has to go to him from 5th on the grid. It wasn't the best of qualifying from him, but he has really been streetwise, slowly picking off cars through the pit stops and on track where it was possible, and got himself up into that 2nd. Acho, that wing damage has ended his hopes of catching Ben, and he drops to 3rd. Jared, of course, soft compound tyre, had to pit early, and that derailed his hopes of a podium. He's running 4th. Greek Master in 5th, was involved in so many battles earlier on, as Poms to the win has just gone straight on into the barrier down at turn 4 before you head on to Raffles Boulevard. So a shame for him, and now it's going to get even worse, because Ren is going to come past him and up into 9th place, and it gets even worse for Poms to the win. Just when he needed to cruise it to the finish, he ends up locking the fronts into the wall, left wing damage on left end plate damage, and through goes Ren up into 9th place, and that is a small consolation for him, having started so high up the grid. To get it back up into 9th place, it's not what he would have been hoping for either this afternoon. Not a good day for Ren. But yeah, for anyone wondering, strategy, it has been Ultra Softs to Super Softs. That has been the ideal strategy. And as Jess has said, we have seen other people try different things. Super soft tyre onto Ultra Soft tyre, and that has worked extremely well for Drop Bear. He's done a really good job there on that strategy. And yeah, if you're outside the top 10, you're thinking about your AOR race later on tonight, be sure, of course, to tune in to some more AOR action this evening. And of course, the strategy seems to be the Ultra Soft. Outside the top 10, I'd maybe go Super Soft to try and mix it up a bit, and try and charge through the field later on the Ultra Soft tyre. That seems to be the way to go. But we are now on the penultimate lap of this race, and New Zealand Ryan is driving a beautiful Grand Prix, Jess, isn't he? It's what a drive.
Yeah, I'm not surprised for him, to be honest, that he is up front. He's doing absolutely amazing. But what I'm surprised with is the gap he is stretching between himself and Ben. But not much of a gap is in Italy last time round. But again, some tricky corners in Singapore, but still a great gap along the way there. I think Ben will be pretty happy with his 2nd place position, I think. I think he wasn't expecting to win, so him getting second place will help the constructors' battle go down to the wire at the moment. We've got after this race, we will got five more races to go, and it is all to play for as we go through. And I'm looking forward to seeing the battle shape up next week as Ryan is about to start the final lap of this Grand Prix, dominating from start to finish. As actually set a great lap before Ryan dominated that and snatched it out of his hand, just like most AOR leagues, to be honest. And Master Berserk is trying to gain some positions as he is trying to go up. Neon Tree down. Can he make it stick? I think that's one of the only battles at the moment at this stage. But it looks like Neon Tree Dome is going to stick the position at the moment. It would be good though if Master Berserk comes up in 7 after that good recovery drive at the moment. So it's looking good for both of these drivers at the moment. And so it looks like we're not going to have any more retirements. We got 3 retirees: Warden, Dominator, and Chimchar. All three of them are looking very promising, but it wasn't meant to be at this stage for those 3. So what a shame for them. But hopefully they can come back fighting next week. So very, very, very exciting there. So don't forget, our new sponsor is Thrustmaster. We're delighted that Thrustmaster is one of our new sponsors with Elgato as well. So that is nice for us to see as well. So we only got partnered with them about a week ago, so that is brilliant stuff from them. As we are just following Ryan there as he's going through the last few corners, dominating this race, absolutely brilliant. And we've got a few contenders for driver of the day. It's going to be really hard to call on who's going to be driver of the day at this race, as we're following Ryan then as he goes through the final corner of this Marina-based circuit, as he goes on to win the Singapore Grand Prix by a mere 17.5 seconds. What a great race from Ryan. He should be happy with that. So well done to Ryan. And looks like it's going to be another Mercedes 1-2 for the second race in a row. So looking good for the Mercedes team back in the factory. So Ben, a good second place. You Ben fans will be happy about that. And we got Acho rounding out the podium positions in 3rd place. What a good race from him. A good recovery, very consistent. And we've got Jared in 4th and Greek Master in 5th place. But what is happening with Master Berserk? Is he going to close up to Neon Tree Dome? Look like the gap is stretching a bit further. He's going a bit wide in some places. So it looks like Neon Tree Dome is going to stick with the position at the moment. Drop Bear doing a superb race as well. Starting from one of the bottom places on the grid, and he's gone up to 6th position. So well done to Drop Bear. Absolutely fantastic. And Neon Tree Dome, where we see most of the battles today, in 7th position with Master Berserk in 8th. And we've got Ray in 96 going through the final corner, and as he finishes in 9th, and Formula Fish completes the top 10. What a race it has been, Andy.
I really enjoyed it. For Singapore often it can be cagey, it can be one that you have to feel your way into, and you don't often get a lot of overtakes, and it's just one moment that kicks it all off. But today we've been treated. It's been a fantastic Grand Prix as Formula Fish rounds out the points in 10th. A bit of a shame for Poms to the win in 11th, not getting anything, but New Zealand Ryan, what a performance. And for me personally, it's hard to argue with that. There was so many contenders for driver of the day, but personally, Ryan, if you win by 17 seconds at this level, you cannot argue that he is the driver of the day. It sounds a bit boring to go with that, I know, but Ryan, what a drive from him. And that rounds off the Singapore Grand Prix. It has been absolutely brilliant, an absolute pleasure, this Grand Prix to commentate on. And New Zealand Ryan stretches that lead in the World Championship, and he is now on course to wrap it up in a few weeks' time. The next race, of course, it is the Austrian Grand Prix, which of course takes place conveniently when the Austrian Grand Prix weekend is, which is quite good. So Ryan will be looking to get another win there. But there he is on the podium, absolutely delighted. The team overjoyed, and Ryan lifts the trophy aloft, and I'm sure he'll celebrate with some champagne, then a few more drinks after that in the Singapore nightlife. I'm sure the New Zealander absolutely delighted on the top step of the podium. It's a Mercedes 1-2. Toto Wolff, he looks pretty impressed as well, and I think we might be seeing a bit of that later on today as well in the actual Grand Prix. We'll wait and see. But Acho, he comes home in 3rd. A solid result for him. He should be pleased as well. That's only his 3rd podium of the season, so good job from him. But there it is, the Singapore Grand Prix, the final results. New Zealand Ryan winning for Mercedes. Tiamat Murdoch in second from that 5th place starting position. Ho brings it home 3rd. That's where he started. Jared finishes 4th from 8th on the grid, and Greek Master was 5th. He won that incredible midfield battle that kept us on our toes all race long. Drop Bear, that incredible first stint that he did on the Super Sauce, brought him home 6th from 12th on the grid. Neon Tree Dome, he was 7th. He was in the thick of it. The Toro Rosso in 8th. Who was that? I hate it when that happens. Who's in the Toro Rosso? That was Ren. Ren was 8th.
Yeah, Ren. It was Ren, because Jared. Yeah, Jared was up in the top, yeah. That was.
Yeah. Apologies, folks. It's my first time on Oceania, so I don't quite know the cars with the drivers yet. So apologies for not getting that spot on there. But yeah, an absolute pleasure, Jason. Really enjoyed it. Great race, wasn't it?
Yes, it was an absolutely brilliant race. Props to the drivers there, and props to also Drop Bear as well for stretching up those tyres to last for so long. So as well as Ryan being driver of the day, I think Drop Bear could be one of the contenders as well. So yeah, Ryan and Drop Bear doing very brilliant. I think Team Armada is doing well, keeping up with the stretch, and Warden not scoring is letting Ben stretch up the gap between him and Warden a bit more there. So that will be very impressive with that. So that's it then for this Oceania race in Singapore. We hope you enjoyed it. Apologies for the slight technical delay at the start of the race, beginning of the broadcast, but it's all been fixed, so thank goodness for that. Make sure you join us then at 8 o'clock tonight for the European leagues. Myself and Andy will be commentating, but in different leagues, not the same one, but we'll be back. But make sure you join us for the PC, Xbox and PS4 leagues for F1 and F2. It's going to be exciting. I know it's going to be. Are you excited, Andy?
I can't wait. Of course, I'll be on Xbox One with Justin tonight, and it's a cracking battle going on there between the Flying Finn and, of course, NLR Evo as well. Evo getting a good few results in recent weeks. A lot of people have been saying, well, hold on a minute here, he's winning every single race, but then Evo's just kind of said, oh, hold on a minute here. I'm coming back at you. I'm ready to fight. So be sure to tune into that tonight. That'll be a cracker. But on this race, a fantastic Grand Prix. And Ben, of course, he's celebrating in the chat. He's absolutely delighted to get himself up into that 2nd place from 5th in the grid. But yeah, really enjoyed it, Jess, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, it's making me looking forward to tonight as well. It'll be interesting to see what strategy it is as well. S2 is looking up to be hotting up as well with the championship battle going there. But I think we're going to leave it there. So that is it, folks, for this. Join us for the Oceania Leagues. Join us next week in I nearly said Australia. Apologies. Join us next week in Austria. Will Ryan be able to make the gap last even more to make sure his championship hopes stay alive? Or will we see a new winner? We'll have to find out. That is it from me and Andy, and we'll see you later on. And for the Oceania Leagues, we'll see you next week with our usual commentators. Should be back next week. Ficho and Matt, they'll be back joining in the fun as well. So until then, guys, we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.